Hello, this is Doe Wilkerson back with another edition of Old School Boxing Talk. This one is our preview of the big fight this Saturday night at 9 o'clock on Showtime. It's A.Broner versus Mikey Garcia in a 12-round, 140-pound bout. Now, this fight has a lot of implications in it for both men. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But first I want to talk about another fight on this card that's a big fight. That's Jermall Charlo versus Jorge Sebastian Heidland in a 12-round WBC elimination bout. Which pretty much means that the winner of this bout is the mandatory challenger for the winner of Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. Now, I expect, as most people in boxing do, Jermall Charlo to win this bout and win it spectacularly. I also expect that the winner of Canelo Triple G to then drop the WBC belt because neither one of them want to fight Jermall Charlo. I know Canelo doesn't. Canelo was at 154 with Charlo and avoided both Charlo brothers like the plague. So I don't see him, should he beat Golovkin, wanting to fight Charlo at 160. If he didn't want to fight him at 154, he's sure as hell not going to want to fight him at 160. And I don't think it's so much Canelo. I think it's more Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya that don't want that because Canelo's their last. Canelo's all they have. They have nothing other than Canelo. Golden Boy has nothing other than Canelo and HBO. And once Canelo's done, they probably won't even have HBO. Charlo, I expect to win this bout. And like I said, I expect that whether Golovkin wins or whether Canelo wins, I don't think either one of them are going to fight Charlo. I expect him to drop the WBC title. And Charlo to probably either be given the belt because of winning this bout here, or maybe fight another fight to get the belt. But I expect Charlo to win, and I do not expect the winner of Canelo Triple G to want to fight Charlo. That's my opinion. If I'm proven wrong, I'll be the first to say, hey, I was wrong. But knowing the history of these two men, especially Canelo, I expect should Canelo beat Triple G, and I'll do a preview of that fight when we get closer to it, but should that happen, I expect that belt to be dropped immediately. You know, I expect that belt to be just, because Canelo's already setting up his, I don't like the WBC, and this is going to be another one of his bullshit reasons to drop the WBC title. Should Golovkin win, Golovkin will start the, I'm retiring, or I'm moving up to 168, and Golovkin's not so. Charlo's going to wind up pretty much, for all intents and purposes, he's going to win the WBC title Saturday night. Only he's going to wait to get the belt officially because, you know, Canelo and Triple G are going to have their little battle. And after they have their battle, whoever wins, knowing that they have to fight Charlo, is going to pretty much say, yeah, here you go. Now on to the main event. A.Broner, Mikey Garcia. Wow. What more can we say? This is a good fight. A couple years ago would have been a better fight because a couple years ago, you know, would have been a fight maybe for a championship. A.Broner, the reason a lot of people, myself included, are not picking A.Broner has all to do with A.Broner's mentality. Nothing to do with his talent. Talent-wise, we should be picking Broner to be all over this fight. As much as I respect Mikey Garcia, Mikey Garcia is a guy with all the fundamentals. Mikey Garcia does everything you want a fighter to do. Excuse me, but A.Broner has God-given ability. That's just, unbelievable. The reason I'm not picking A.Broner, and the reason a lot of people aren't picking A.Broner, is because here, mentally, A.Broner doesn't know if he wants to be a fighter, if he wants to be a Rick Ross wannabe. You know, A.Broner doesn't know what the hell he wants to be. And that is why it's hard to pick this guy. He has all the talent in the world. But one, he's got to make 140 pounds, which he hasn't done in a while. And it's not like it's been hard. I mean, he He gave his title to Ashley Theophane when all he had to do was shave that stupid beard of his, and he would have made the weight. You know, he could have shaved that damn beard, and he gave the belt up over a couple ounces and didn't even try. Shave your damn beard, you make the weight. Goddamn beard must weigh about 3 pounds. Shave that sumbitch and get in there and defend your title, but no. Broner's problem is a case of too much too soon. You know, he was gassed up. People kept telling him he's the next coming of Floyd Mayweather. Kept gassing him up. Listen to all these people telling him how great he was. Then when he got his ass beat by Mike Donna, he's, you know, still was, people still gassed him up, telling him, oh, that was just a speed bump. That was just that, blah, 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 blah. And then he went out there, fought a couple C-level fighters, then fought Sean Porter, got his ass beat again. And again, Al Heyman in the PBC fought a couple C-level fighters, pushed him, got him into a title fight. A title fight where he won the WBA title, again, defended, you know, was supposed to defend it against Theophane, who's a C-level fighter. Couldn't even get that done. Gave up the belt, beat Theophane, which he was supposed to do. Then went on to fight another C-level fighter. Now he's fighting an A-level fighter. So Broner's habit has been beat the lower B and C-level fighters, lose to the upper B to A-level fighters. And if that pattern continues, I expect Adrian Broner to lose this fight. I expect to be competitive, but I expect Broner to lose this fight. Mikey Garcia, people saying, well, Mikey Garcia is a smaller guy coming up, blah, 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 blah. No. Here's the thing. Mikey Garcia has fought at 140 in his first fight back, you know, after he took that 2 years off after the scrum with Bob Arum. You know, in Top Rank, we're doing him dirty. He sat out rather than fight for those bastards. And Mikey Garcia, you know, proved this point, came back, has been a destructive force since he's returned. He fought one fight at 140, his first fight back, then went down and moved down to 135, where he is the WBC lightweight champion. Now, Mikey Garcia taking this fight it's a good fight for Mikey Garcia, because right now he's got to wait for business at 135 to pick up, which it will. For Mikey Garcia, this is a big fight for him in a name. Adrian Broner, even though Adrian Broner's still a name. I think after this, he's going to just be a name opponent. I feel bad that Broner has squandered his ability and squandered this, but it's Broner's own fault. You know, there's an old saying in boxing and in any sports: you're never as good as the papers say you are. You're never as bad as they say you are. You're always somewhere in the middle. And don't believe your own press clippings. Unfortunately for Adrian Broner, he believes his own press clippings. So he thinks he's God's gift to boxing. So his attitude and the fact that between the ears is where I question Adrian Broner. I question Broner's dedication to boxing. You know, he seems like he's more interested in being a star. You know, he's out at clubs partying, DJing, getting drunk, you know, doing all the stupid shit he does outside the ring. Yet here's Mikey Garcia, a man who's dedicated to boxing, and dedicated to his skills, dedicated to his art form. Is Mikey Garcia as talented as Adrian Broner? No. But Mikey Garcia is a better fighter because Mikey Garcia is a fighter. Adrian Broner has all the God-given talent in the world, but he's not a fighter. He just doesn't have a fighter's mentality. He wants to be an entertainer. He wants to be Floyd without the hard work. So, in my opinion, I'm picking Mikey Garcia to win a unanimous decision here over Adrian Broner. 12-round decision. I pick Garcia. I think Mikey's going to win this. Now, what happens next? For Mikey Garcia win here, he says he's going back down to 135. Where Jorge Linares has been ordered to fight Jorge Linares. Vasily Lomachenko's talking about coming up to 135 to fight him. So there's some good business at 135 for Mikey Garcia. There's Linares where he could win the WBA title as well as defend his WBC title. There's Robert Easter Jr. for the IBF title, and of course, I don't know who the hell the WBO lightweight champion is. I just don't know, but he's out there, and you know. Mikey Garcia, I would like to see Mike Garcia become the first undisputed lightweight champion since Pernell Whitaker. And really do some damage at 135. We haven't had a dominant champion on the level of Duran. The closest we've come to a dominant lightweight champion since Roberto Duran left the lightweight division is probably going to be Pernell Whitaker, when after he unified the three major belts at the time, the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles, and Whitaker made a handful of defenses of it before he moved up. For Mikey Garcia, there's good things. Win or lose, Mikey Garcia has business he can do at 135. Win, and like I said, he's got business at 135. Plus, there's also the fact that Mikey Garcia could be the one carried dangling for the winner of the Terrence Crawford, Julius Ndongo fight, which we'll do the preview of that next week. That's going to be a big fight that's going to play into for the winner of this. The Ndongo Crawford winner. The winner of this could be in line for a fight with that winner. For Broner, like I said, Broner wins this. That fight, the Crawford fight would be there. Of course, Broner's going to try to move up to 147. And here's the sad thing is, unless he gets a fight with Jeff Horn, Broner cannot beat Earl Spence Jr. He sure as hell can't beat Keith Thurman. So, he can't even beat Sean Porter. So what the hell? You're not getting a shot at the title at 147 anytime soon. Unless like you said, you can talk Bob Arum and letting you fight, Jeff Horn and going over to Australia and you beat Horn. And that's not even a given. I normally a couple years ago I said that's a given, but I won't even call that a given. For Broner, he needs this win. He needs to win. If ever there was a guy that needs to win a fight, Broner needs to win this fight. Because if Adrian Broner loses this fight, yes, it only has 3 losses, but his stock goes down tremendously. In today's age of boxing, where losses hurt fighters, hurt a fighter and a fighter could come back from that loss. Here's the problem, though. Broner's not the type of guy that will come back from that. Like I said, the problem with Broner is his dedication to boxing. I think if Broner loses this fight, he'll fight very infrequently, and then he's going to be a name opponent. Pretty much like Jerry Cooney. After Jerry Cooney lost Larry Holmes, he was no longer a serious heavyweight. He just became a name opponent. He fought Michael Spinks for big money, fought George Foreman for big money. Outside of Jerry Cooney, he didn't fought nobody else. He never, again, even went for the title. Well, against Spinks he did. But, he was never really a serious threat after he lost to Larry Holmes. Jerry Cooney just became a name opponent. And I think Adrian Broner is headed in that same direction of being a name opponent. He'd rather be a star, rather be whatever the hell he's trying to be, than to be a fighter. So for those reasons, I'm picking Mikey Garcia, who's a fighter, and I like Mikey Garcia in this fight. Now, could Adrian Broner shock me and shock everybody in the boxing world and actually pull this off? Yeah, he could. But he needs it. I mean, look, Mikey Garcia, he's undefeated. If Mikey Garcia loses this fight, it's his first loss. He's got options. He can go right. He's the lightweight champion. Go back to 135. Like I said, fight Jorge Linares. Fight, Lomachenko. Fight Robert Easter Jr. There's fights for him at 135. And it's not going to really hurt him. The Crawford fight might be out the window for now. For Mikey Garcia, a loss here doesn't hurt him. It just, okay, it was too much, too soon, too big, blah, blah, blah. The bigger guy, everybody's saying Broner's a bigger guy, blah, 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 blah. So all that's going to come into play there. So for Mikey Garcia, a loss here is not going to really hurt him. It's a bit of a setback, and it's his first loss. But Mikey Garcia type of guy would rebound from that. Adrian Broner now, it's a setback because here you are. You stepped up against Maidana, you lost. You stepped up against Sean Porter, you lost. Now you fight Mikey Garcia, you stepped up again and you lose. That means that Adrian Broner is going to be pretty much a guy that is going to be relegated, saying, okay, he can fight the C and B level fighters. And that's what they'll do. They'll build him up, beating C and B level fighters. And then when he fights an A-level, then use him to fight an A-level guy because, hey, Broner's back, blah, 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 and he'll make some money. And that's going to be his thing. He's going to be just a name opponent. I mean, I could be wrong, and maybe Broner wins this fight, or maybe Broner loses this fight. He rededicates himself, but I don't see Broner being the type of guy that's rededicate himself. I just don't. I mentally, from what I've seen of Broner, I just don't like what I'm seeing of Broner. And while I do respect his ability, from the very moment I first seen Adrian Broner, I wasn't impressed. The first time I seen him fight, I wasn't impressed with him. He fought on HBO, and oh my God, I can't remember the name of the guy he fought, but the guy he fought was a good guy, and and he barely beat him. And then I seen him fight a bunch of guys after that were already knocked out, that were damaged goods to begin with. And he looked good there, and the champions he won against weren't that great. I've never seen Adrian Broner beat a fighter that I believe was a quality guy. I haven't seen him I haven't seen him beat a quality guy. I've seen him fight quality guys. I haven't seen him beat a quality guy. And that's what we're waiting for to see from Adrian Broner here. Beat a quality guy. If he can beat Mikey Garcia, he will have beat a quality guy. He will have answered some questions that myself and other boxing fans have about Adrian Broner. But those are questions only Adrian Broner can answer. His dedication. Are you dedicated to this? Is this what you want to do? Or are you still trying to be a Rick Ross wannabe? What do you either a fighter or you want to be an entertainer? You want to go out there and DJ and get drunk, DJ at clubs and get drunk, whatever, or you want to get in the gym and, practice and hone your craft and get better. I've said for the longest time that I felt Broner needed a new trainer. His trainer really wasn't getting the best out of him. That he went as far with that trainer as he could go. That he needed a new trainer. That didn't happen. Broner likes a bunch. I guess he likes a bunch of yes men around him. For Mikey Garcia, everything here in my heart of hearts says Mikey Garcia wins this fight. And that's where I'm going on my preview of this fight. My pick is Mikey Garcia by decision. I wouldn't be shocked if Mikey dropped Adrian. I wouldn't be shocked if Adrian dropped Mikey. Don't think that both of these men can punch. Don't get it twisted. Both of these guys have power. I don't see a stoppage, but I could see a couple knockdowns being traded in this fight. So, that's my review. That's my preview of the Garcia, Broner, and, of course, the Charlo Sebastian, Jorge Sebastian Heidland fight. And we'll be back after the fights. Most likely, maybe Sunday, maybe Monday morning, I'll have something back up and we'll go over and I'll go over the fights and we'll do it again. So till then, just Dope Wilson saying, be safe.